Chapter 1. The only one forgotten. Jasmine, how long are you going to keep up this act? Your surgery was a success, you're not dead, so are you still playing pitiful to get me to come back and see you? Because of you, Serena even missed her concert, urging me to come back and be with you. You can't even compare to a single strand of Serena's hair. I stared puzzledly at the furious man before me, thinking only how noisy he was. Who are you? I asked. The nurse told me he was my husband. I laughed, pointing at his and the other woman's tightly clasped hands. Don't kid me, they're the couple. The one I like is the campus legend, Austin Sterling. One hearing that name, the man before me completely lost it. He lunged to grab my collar, but was forcefully stopped by the nurse and thrown out. That scared me to death. I clutched my chest. The guy had to be some kind of psycho. My best friend, Joyce Chandler, handed me a stack of documents. I looked through them one by one, feeling a bit dazed. Fact 1, I was actually married. Fact 2, that psycho just now was my legal husband, Ethan Davenport. Are you sure you haven't made a mistake? I asked Joyce. There's no way I'm married, and even if I were, it wouldn't be to this person. I don't know him, Joyce sighed. It's true, take a look at your diary yourself. She handed me a journal. 3 days after the surgery, I was recovering well. Bathed in brilliant sunshine, I slowly read my diary. After a quick skim, I found it hard to accept. It turned out, in the part of my memory I'd lost, there was a subservient soul, hopelessly in love with Ethan Davenport. Was this really me? I clearly remembered my crush was the math god, Austin Sterling. Where did this Ethan Davenport come from? The diary made it clear. 3 years ago, I fell in love with Ethan because he saved me in a car accident. Gratitude turning into love probably isn't that hard. From that day on, Ethan had a little shadow following him. Wherever he went, I followed, always at his beck and call, obedient and well-behaved. Even though his friends always looked down on me, constantly laughing whenever I was mentioned, calling me shameless, a pathetic stalker who clung to Ethan relentlessly. At those times, I wished so badly that Ethan would tell them that wasn't the truth, that we were already secretly dating. But Ethan said we had to keep it a secret for now so it wouldn't affect his work. A secret relationship, a secret marriage to outsiders, I was just like a lapping dog by Ethan's side. A bootlicker and a drama queen, getting in the way of him and his white moonlight, Serena Marshall. It was infuriating to everyone, but no one knew that Serena had abandoned Ethan for personal gain, moving abroad, and only came back after failing to make it overseas, and seeing that Ethan had become a new business elite. Their reunion was portrayed as a model love story, the envy of everyone, and I, his legal wife, was forced to live like a rat in the shadows. Closing the diary, I sighed. Help me throw this away, I told Joyce. Are you serious? I mean, you loved Ethan so much. You might regret it when you remember. Me, I really had no idea how lovesick I must have been for even my best friend to say that. I smiled and waved my hand. Really? It's fine, just toss it. I'd forgotten anyway. What was the point of having a man like that? A month ago, they found a tumor in my brain. The good news, it was benign and could be removed with surgery. The bad news, its location meant side effects were likely, like what I have now, selective amnesia. I remember everything, except for my husband. From the diagnosis to the surgery, Ethan only showed up to sign a form, then spent all his time with Serena. The reason was simple. Serena was about to participate in an international violin competition, and he was afraid she wouldn't perform well, so he stayed by her side day and night. Their comings and goings were even photographed and posted online. Piano prince in love with violin prodigy, a trending topic that dominated social media for days. Every time I expressed my dissatisfaction to Ethan, he'd find me annoying, thinking I was being unreasonable. Perhaps in his eyes, my surgery was a minor issue, it wasn't fatal. After all, but Serena's competition was a major event that would shape her future. Reading about the tear-stained grievances in the diary made my whole body ache. After tossing the diary, I prepared to message Ethan to set a time to file for divorce. Just as I picked up my phone, I saw a message from him. Ethan, your attitude the other day was terrible. Serena has been crying over you until now. You need to reflect on your actions. Don't contact me for the next few days. I had just replied with a question mark when I discovered I'd been blocked. How ridiculous. My husband, for the sake of his white moonlight, decided to teach me a lesson with the silent treatment and blocked me. Whoever wants this man can have him. I'm done. On the day I was discharged, I prepared a divorce agreement and sent it directly to Ethan's studio. Chapter 2. The gift back at my place. I got some help to pack up my things, 4 large suitcases in total, and sent them all straight to Ethan's studio. Then I changed my phone number, the lock code on my door, and everything in that space that had a connection to Ethan. Looking at my familiar and welcoming home, my mood lifted. A news alert popped up. Young mathematician Austin Sterling was rumored to have settled in the States. Seeing the familiar face in the photo, my heart swelled. This was the person I liked. Austin Sterling. I still remembered his email address. Even though I had missed my chance, I wanted to say a proper goodbye. I composed an email and sent it to him. Just as I finished, the doorbell rang, accompanied by furious knocking. "Jasmine, get out here," it was Ethan. I frowned and walked to the door but didn't open it. No way was I going to face a man who tried to get violent with me in front of a nurse. "Can I help you?" I asked cautiously. "What is the meaning of this? Did you send me a divorce agreement to scare me? Did you sign it?" I asked. "Sign it quickly, and we can find a time to file the papers." Jasmine, his face on the video intercom, looked distorted with rage. I was a bit puzzled. Didn't he love Serena? He should be happy I'm asking for a divorce. Why the angry face? "Don't yell at me. I just had surgery and I'm still recovering. This will affect my mood." I tried to explain patiently. "Anyway, I've forgotten you and you don't like me. We shouldn't torture each other. It's better to let go while we're still young so you can pursue your true love. Isn't that for the best?" He fell silent. A few seconds later, he sneered. Well, Jasmine, your acting is pretty good this time. Almost believable. Trying to get my attention this way, trying to compete with Serena, are you? Let me tell you, you're not even worthy of carrying her shoes." A wave of disgust washed over me. How could I have fallen for such a rude man? Being lovesick really is a disease that needs curing. Don't you carry her shoes for her? Why should I do it for a stranger? I retorted immediately. "Ethan, if you hate me so much, why not agree to the divorce? Don't tell me you can't bear to part with me. Are you kidding? Can't bear to part with you? If you hadn't forced me, would I have married you?" Right, so let's just split up. Stop wasting each other's time." I rolled my eyes. Ethan slammed his fist against the door in frustration and turned to leave. I clutched my racing heart. Oh my God, that was terrifying. Good thing I didn't open the door. If he'd gotten physical, I would have been no match for him. He was probably just angry that I had pushed him, so this time he agreed to the divorce. He told me not to regret it. A joke. Would I regret it? Of course not. The thought of leaving this jerk and running towards freedom filled me with joy. Ethan and I went to file for divorce, but we still had to wait through a cooling-off period. My face fell seriously. A cooling-off period. "I'll just have to bear with it," Ethan scoffed. "It's too late for regrets now. Unless you beg me, then maybe I'll agree to withdraw the divorce." I rolled my eyes at him. "Are you nuts? You treated me so badly. Do you think I have a screw loose? Why would I regret this? Please stop saying such scary things. You'll give me nightmares." To celebrate the divorce, I invited a few good friends out for dinner. After the meal, we went to a karaoke bar. And there, of all the rotten luck, I ran into Ethan again. The graceful Serena Marshall was sitting beside him, her eyes watching me coldly. I immediately looked away. We'd already filed the papers. He could have another woman on his arm for all I cared. I wasn't that old-fashioned. I'd just pretend I didn't see them. Ethan was displeased. "Jasmine, I have a gift for you." Me, "I don't want your gift." But he didn't let me go. Before I could leave, a video started playing on a nearby screen. The person in it was very familiar. It was me. I was calling Ethan, trying to please him in every humble way, begging him to come home at night, telling him I had made so much good food for him. waiting from dusk till dawn. Those anniversaries, those days I thought were special, were all spent waiting. And every time, Ethan's response was cold and heartless. I stared blankly, watching this completely unfamiliar version of myself. My heart ached for her. My ears were filled with the laughter of Ethan and his friends. Serena even laughed out loud. I never thought Jasmine would go to such lengths for you, and she claims to have amnesia. I bet she's just faking it. A sharp pain shot through my heart and my breath hitched. In that moment, I finally understood. I really had loved Ethan, with all my heart and soul, but some people are just not worthy. Ethan knew exactly how I felt about him. He was married to me, yet he still let his friends treat me this way, mocking me, turning me into a joke for their amusement. I slowly pulled my gaze away, fighting back the stabbing pain in my heart. Thank God I had forgotten everything about him. I couldn't imagine how I would have survived this moment otherwise. Tears welled up in my eyes. I quickly wiped them away and looked at Ethan calmly. He looked a little uncomfortable. You brought this on yourself for going too far this time. I walked up to him and, raising my hand, slapped him hard across the face. Everyone gasped. I sneered. Ethan, thank you for the gift you prepared for me today. When the cooling-off period ends in a month, I expect to see you at the city hall to sign the papers. I want to divorce you and be done with you, completely and cleanly. Instantly, the color drained from his face, and a look of incredulous fury flashed in his eyes. Chapter 3. It was her. The room fell silent. Everyone stared in shock at Ethan and me. I guess no one expected me to slap him. After all, the girl in the video was the ultimate bootlicker. Forget hitting him, she felt guilty for being a few minutes late with his dinner. How could she bear to strike him? Ethan looked like he was about to explode, his eyes bloodshot. Do you have any idea what you're doing? I do. The one who doesn't know what he's doing is you. I shot a cold glance at him and Serena. You two are actually a pretty good match. I've already signed the divorce papers with you, Mr. Davenport. What's your problem? Can't let go? Could it be that you're the one who regrets it? The one who doesn't actually want a divorce? That last sentence successfully sent Ethan over the edge. He laughed coldly. Are you kidding? Didn't you see the video yourself? Trying to fake amnesia to get my sympathy. You're dreaming. Good, I nodded, relieved. Also, I want you to delete that video. If I find you showing it around again, I'll sue you for invasion of privacy. Ethan acted like he'd heard the funniest thing in the world and burst out laughing. Jasmine, are you sure you have any privacy with me? His words were merciless, cruel, and cold. I finally understood completely. Unrequited devotion doesn't earn you equal tenderness. It only spoils a scumbag rotten. He doesn't know how to love someone, let alone respect them. Me? Fine. Since you put it that way, next time you show that video, I'll post the pictures of you naked in my house. After all, between a husband and wife, it's normal to have no privacy. Ethan's face instantly turned ashen. I didn't bother with him anymore and turned to leave. What a buzzkill. I wanted to celebrate, and he ruined everyone's mood. My friends and I ended up at a street-side stall for some barbecue skewers. Joyce asked tentatively, Jazz, are you okay? I'm perfectly fine. Then why did you just say you were divorcing Ethan? Are you two actually married? Was the shock too much and it scrambled your brain? Joyce raised her hand to feel my forehead as she spoke. My heart skipped a beat. I'd almost forgotten. Ethan and I had a secret marriage. That was another heartbreaking grievance from the diary. It was so suffocating that I hadn't dared to read it in detail. Ethan's actions just now had infuriated me, and I'd forgotten about it in the heat of the moment. The funny thing was, Ethan probably didn't realize it either and just went along with what I said. I wondered how he was going to explain it to Serena now. I waved my hand. It's fine. From now on, Ethan and I have nothing to do with each other. Really? None of my other friends believed me. Only Joyce looked at me deeply. If Jazz says it's over, then it's over. That Ethan guy was never good enough for you anyway. Let him be with Serena, a scumbag and a tramp, a perfect match. You're right. I was so pleased I ordered an extra chicken leg for Joyce. Full and satisfied, I returned to my apartment, only to find someone standing at my door. A tall, cold figure. Even though he looked unfamiliar, a name quickly surfaced in my mind. Ethan. I instinctively took 2 steps back. What are you doing here? The more I retreated, the closer he came. Before I could even get in the door, he had me cornered against the wall. I frowned in disgust, pushing against his chest. I'm warning you, if you come any closer, don't blame me for what happens. His gaze was deep, his breath fanning across my face. What are you playing at? He murmured. Today, that was my fault. I shouldn't have shown those videos, but you were being completely disrespectful. I sneered. Give you respect. Who do you think you are? He narrowed his eyes. Don't test my patience, Jasmine. I don't like it when you're not obedient. And you liked me when I was obedient. My smile widened mockingly. Then why the secret marriage? Why weren't you there when your wife was having surgery? He suddenly understood. So you're still jealous about that. I've explained it so many times. Serena has no other family here. She only has me. This competition is very important. I have to be by her side. Are you really that selfish? Are you going to destroy the future of a talented violinist for your own petty feelings? He frowned, displeased. It dawned on me he thought all of this was because I was jealous of Serena. My talk of divorce, even dragging him to file the papers, was all just a ploy to scare him. In his mind, he was already indulging me by playing along with these games. I shouldn't and couldn't be disobedient, because Serena needed him. I was so amused I laughed until my stomach hurt. You don't seriously think I still have feelings for you, do you? Please, I have amnesia. Go ask a doctor what those 2 words mean. I've forgotten you, understand? I pointed to my head, then clutched my heart. Here and here, there's no trace of you left. From now on, if you want to be with Serena, be with Serena. You can do whatever you want with her. Sleep with her for all I care. You don't have to tell me. Because I don't care, so liberating, I felt a rush of exhilaration. It was like I had finally done something I'd been wanting to do for a long time. Ethan's face was twitching. He was so furious with me. Fine, fine, have it your way. You'd better not regret this, he left, his face ashen. I let out a sigh of relief. He was finally gone. I thought he was going to hit me. With my thin arms and legs, how could I have possibly fought back? Life without Ethan didn't seem to change much. I rested, worked, and enjoyed the comfort of my little nest. It was very pleasant. Until one day a week later, when I officially returned to work. My boss took me to sign a contract with a client I had been negotiating with before my surgery. It was only right that I should be in charge of it now. I heard you have amnesia, my boss chuckled. Yes, but it's not a big deal. I haven't forgotten much, just some unimportant things. Just as I finished speaking, a figure quickly passed by me. It was Ethan. Great. It looked like he'd heard what I just said. He was striding with an air of defiance, as if he had a grudge against the entire floor. My boss, do you know him? Nope. I shook my head like a bobblehead. The contract signing went smoothly. Since I had just had surgery, I couldn't drink at the dinner. I stepped out for some fresh air halfway through and saw Serena. Or rather, she was waiting for me. Excuse me, could you move? I frowned. The hallway was only so wide, and she was blocking a good portion of it. She had also deliberately placed her violin case next to her. I want to talk to you. I have nothing to say to you. Are you scared? Serena was aggressive, showing none of the delicate meekness she had when she was leaning on Ethan. She took a step closer. Don't think that just because you've revealed the marriage, Ethan will want you. You probably don't know, but the person who asked Ethan to keep the marriage a secret was me. Serena's crimson lips curved into a smug, condescending smile. Chapter 4. A cathartic scolding, a run-in with a crush, a closed deal. Perfect, it was you. I remained unfazed. That's right. Don't think you're his wife just because you have a marriage certificate with Ethan. The only person he truly cares about is me. Serena was outrageously arrogant. Jasmine, if I were you, I would have had the sense to leave on my own. Why humiliate yourself? Calmly, I asked. So tell me, what else did you make Ethan do? You were so happy the day you got your marriage certificate, right? You even took a picture and posted it on your social media feed. And what happened? Not 2 seconds later, Ethan chewed you out and made you delete it, all because I sent him a crying message." She smirked and stepped closer, speaking in a voice only we could hear. "Jasmine, if I hadn't gone abroad, do you think you would have ever had the chance to get close to Ethan?" A sharp pain shot through my head. Her words were so unfamiliar, but why did I feel so terrible? My chest felt like it was stuffed with a seawater-soaked sponge, so clogged I could barely breathe. Fragments of broken memories floated in my mind. The me in those images, was that really me? Closing my eyes to calm down, I said in a flat tone, "So the so-called future star of music, the rising violin virtuoso Miss Marshall, is nothing more than this. Eager to be someone's other woman, you've really opened my eyes. Who are you calling the other woman?" Her pretty face flushed with anger, the glamorous facade crumbling so quickly. I sneered, "Ethan and I have a marriage certificate. Who do you think is the other woman?" "In love, the one who isn't loved is the third wheel," she pointed at me, unabashed. "Ethan never loved you, not from the beginning. You're just a shameless bootlicker." Just as she finished, her expression suddenly changed, and tears welled up in her eyes. "I just wanted to say hello to you. Why are you scolding me?" She stumbled back 2 steps. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept past me, and Ethan's figure rushed forward, catching the teetering Serena in his arms. "Jasmine, don't go too far if you have a problem. Take it out on me," he frowned, his eyes full of condemnation. Serena nestled in his arms. "It's okay, Ethan. I can understand if Miss Walton is upset about our close relationship. If she misunderstands me, I can just explain it. Her scolding me is understandable. After all, you two are husband and wife." She lowered her long lashes, looking on the verge of tears. That look was truly pitiful and touching. It made me sick. "Ethan, Jasmine, did you hear Serena? She is so pure and kind-hearted. How could you have the heart to scold her? Apologize to Serena right now. Don't affect her upcoming competition." I was so angry I laughed. "Ethan, if you're sick in the head, go see a doctor. If you want to act, then join the entertainment industry. What are you pretending for in front of me? And you," I turned to Serena, "aren't you and Ethan both in music? What did you switch careers to selling trash bags? You're so full of it." I looked at her again. "You say I scolded you, right? Fine, fine." I suddenly raised my voice. "Everyone, come and judge for yourselves. This musical celebrity, Miss Serena Marshall, is accusing me of scolding her for no reason. She's hugging my husband, and my husband is attentive and accompanies her everywhere. He was even with her while I was having surgery. Tell me, am I wrong to scold a woman like this?" My shout quickly attracted the attention of others. Serena, who had never expected me to do this, turned deathly pale. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" Ethan became nervous too. "What am I doing? Stating the facts, of course. Go on, point out which one of my statements wasn't a fact." I smiled. "She has no relatives in the country, but doesn't she have any friends? Does she need you, a married man, to accompany her the entire time? Otherwise, she won't even dare to go on stage for a competition. Frankly, if she's that timid, she should just go home and be a waitress. She shouldn't be dreaming of Vienna's Golden Hall, lest she tarnish that sacred musical palace. What a piece of work. A total tramp, a wench." I felt a surge of satisfaction as the words left my mouth. Yes, I had wanted to say that for a long time. Serena's eyes widened. Ethan's face darkened. "Jasmine, you've gone too far. Apologize to your mother. I'm warning you, control your little lover. The next time she acts out of line in front of me, I guarantee she'll be performing with a slap mark on her face." I snapped coldly. "And Ethan, don't think you're so clean either. You and Serena are the same, a match made in heaven." With that, I quickly brushed past them. As I passed Serena, I deliberately bumped her with my shoulder. "Next time you want to slander me, I'll make sure to live up to the accusation you've given me." "What a shame you didn't say I hit you just now. Tusk tusk." Serena stared at me in terror, as if she didn't recognize me. And she was right. In their minds, I was supposed to be a little bootlicker trailing after Ethan, a submissive, weak-willed person. How ridiculous. Even Ethan had forgotten that this was the real me. Hating evil as my enemy, and getting revenge on the spot. I burst into a private room, and upon seeing the person inside, I was mortified. "Sorry, wrong room," I turned to leave. "Wait," a clear, magnetic voice called out. It sounded familiar. I slowly turned back and met a pair of eyes as bright as the moon. It was Austin Sterling, the familiar face, the familiar aura, and that same smile from back then. It could be no one else but the university's campus legend, Austin Sterling. For a moment, I even stopped breathing. You didn't settle in the States?" I blurted out. "Something came up, so my plans changed." He smiled slightly. "I didn't expect to see you here, Junior." "I didn't expect it either. Really, long time no see." My face was flushed red with embarrassment. If I had known Austin was coming back, I wouldn't have sent him that email. Now I could only pray that he was a born and bred local who didn't have the habit of checking his email, damn it. "I'd better go back tonight and retract that email. You're as spirited as ever, Junior. I heard you talking in the hallway just now. That was some beautiful scolding." Austin smiled. I was stunned. This was the first time in my life anyone had ever complimented my scolding. If that's not a kindred spirit, what is? A smile spread across my face, my lips curling higher and higher. "Hee, I think so too. Great minds think alike. Austin, let's exchange contact information." My crush was making the first move. How could I refuse? I quickly added him. After leaving the room, my head was still spinning. I had to say, tonight was a good night. I'd told off the people I wanted to, closed a long pending business deal, and even met the crush I'd been dreaming of. This restaurant must have great feng shui. It's my lucky charm. When I got home, Ethan called again. So annoying. He was ruining my wonderful mood. I hung up on him again and again, but he kept calling. Exasperated, I finally answered. "Spit it out." Ethan's breath hitched. "Jazz, when did you become like this? This isn't like you at all." Chapter 5. My crush is the best. Are you done? I asked bluntly. "How many numbers do you have?" Ethan was taken aback. "Just this one for now." Good. After hanging up, I decisively blocked him. This jerk was so persistent. Before I lost my memory, he was so awful to me. Now that I've forgotten him, why is he sticking to me like glue? I was puzzled. Did he really need to tell me if I was different from before? Never mind him. Even I wanted to slap my old self when I thought about it now. What the hell? What was so lovable about a man like Ethan? What I didn't know was that after I hung up on him, Ethan flew into a rage. His friends were so scared by his ashen face that they didn't dare to make a sound. "Jasmine, you've got some nerve. You're doing this to get back at me for how I treated you before, aren't you?" He raged until someone cautiously spoke up. "Mr. Davenport, don't be so angry. Jazz definitely can't let you go." Yeah, we all saw how much she loved you before. How could she just stop loving you now?" "Amnesia, it's probably just a story she made up to mess with you. But not to be that guy, you were a bit too much before. When you were sick last time, Jazz took care of you day and night, but this time, when she had surgery, you didn't even go to see her." There were some dissenting voices among his friends. It annoyed Ethan to hear it. Did you really get a marriage certificate with Jasmine? This was the crucial question. Once it was asked, everyone tensed up. They had all witnessed the confrontation between Ethan and Jasmine that day. Jasmine was acting strangely, but Ethan wasn't acting normal either. Serena became nervous, clutching Ethan's hand tightly. If he admitted it in public, wouldn't she become the other woman who wrecked a marriage? No, she wouldn't have it. Ethan was hers. That bootlicker Jasmine was the other woman. Ethan lowered his eyes, hesitating for a moment. They had been secretly married for so long, Jasmine must have been miserable. She had brought it up with him many times before. Maybe he should take this opportunity to make it public. But then Serena squeezed his hand tightly. He came to his senses. Looking back at Serena's pleading eyes, the words on the tip of his tongue changed. How is that possible? I think her brain is scrambled right now. Are you all going crazy too? A marriage certificate, haha, would I ever be interested in a bootlicker? His words were sharp and cruel. Later, Serena sent me a video of this exchange. Serena, see. In his heart, you're just a bootlicker. Me, oh, and in my heart, he's your bootlicker. The difference is, I've seen the light and he's still lost in his delusion. Me, can't be helped. Dogs will be dogs. Serena was furious with me. She tried to call and curse me out, but I hung up and immediately blocked her number 2. The world was finally quiet. I got up and stood by the window, looking out at the night sky. Time seemed to drag on at this moment. I wished these days would pass like flipping through a book, page by page, to quickly end this long cooling-off period. I was very calm and had no need for regrets. After reading my diary, I finally understood that Ethan and I were actually a good match in terms of family background. His family came from a long line of musicians, and my parents were business tycoons. As for Serena, she was just an ordinary girl from a small town. I knew she was sponsored by Ethan. I just never knew that a sponsored student could become his white moonlight. I also never knew that this white moonlight had already abandoned him once for personal gain, and yet he still treated her like a treasure. It's true what they say, the favored have nothing to fear. The diary said that on the day Serena left him, Ethan drank himself into a stupor and couldn't pull himself together. It was me who patiently stayed by his side, coaxing and pampering him. The diary entries from that time were filled with Ethan's name. The old me, how much I had wished for him to get back on his feet. Later, with my help, Ethan's piano prince persona was successfully marketed. He not only achieved great success in music, but also used his popularity to start his own studio, expanding into other fields and becoming a benchmark in the industry by combining music and business. And on the day he achieved fame and success, I pressured him into marriage. Ethan reluctantly agreed. A certificate, but no public announcement. No wedding, no official recognition, not even telling our parents. It was a marriage known only to him and me. How ridiculous. Now, reading these words, I only felt pity for my former, humble self. What was the point of such a marriage? I had personally helped this man reach his current status, and yet he showed not a shred of gratitude. Divorce was the right choice. A secret marriage was also the right choice. The thought that no one knew Ethan, and I were once married, made me very happy. As the cooling-off period slowly passed, I had many things to do. The next day, I unexpectedly saw Austin Sterling at the office. "Hello, Junior," Austin greeted me first. "Hello." I was so excited my cheeks felt hot, and I felt like I was about to burst. My boss was surprised. "You two know each other?" We went to the same university, and she had the same advisor as me. We worked on a research project together, Austin explained with a smile. My face probably turned even redder. I couldn't believe my crush remembered everything so clearly. My heart was pounding wildly, uncontrollably. "Well, that makes things easier. Mr. Sterling has a project he'd like to collaborate with us on. Jasmine, you'll be in charge." "Okay," I agreed immediately, afraid that my boss would change his mind if I hesitated. Being able to work closely with the man of my dreams made me so happy I could fly. Austin was different from Ethan. He was genuinely talented. Not only was he a top-tier academic, but he was also a pioneer in combining academia with commercialization. After spending a few days with him, I felt like I had made significant progress myself. Indeed, working with exceptional people is a pleasure. "Want to go on a business trip together?" Austin asked. I nodded. "Sure." "You agreed so quickly. Aren't you afraid I'll sell you?" He laughed. "You wouldn't," I said firmly. "Senior, you're my idol. Someone as outstanding as you could write a proposal and have a line of people fighting for it. Selling me wouldn't even fetch that price." Austin was speechless. After a moment, he ruffled my hair. "You're still as interesting as ever." Me. I was telling the truth. How was that interesting? I didn't expect to run into Ethan and Serena again in the VIP lounge. They had arrived before us. By the time we got there, they already had coffee and sheet music on the table. Serena was leaning very, very close to him. So close that no one could honestly say they were just friends. I glanced over briefly, then pretended not to see them, following Austin to a sofa on the other side. "Would you like something to drink?" I asked proactively. I was on a business trip with the client, who also happened to be my college crush. There was no reason for me not to be attentive. Austin smiled. I'll have the same as you. I was delighted. A true gentleman is a true gentleman. Kind, polite, and uncomplicated. Chapter 6. My unease and confession. I remembered another entry from my diary. Whenever I was with Ethan, I would always prioritize his feelings and his mood. As for myself, it seemed like he never paid any attention to me. He didn't even seem to see me. Perhaps it was seeing Ethan again that brought back the contents of my diary, making me feel agitated. I was adding milk to my coffee. Suddenly, someone was standing next to me. I subconsciously glanced up and my mood instantly soured. It was Ethan. I quickly looked away, pretending not to see him. You remembered wrong. I don't like this much milk. Get me another one. Ethan crossed his arms, a smug confidence on his face. Before I could say anything, he continued, How did you follow me here? Did you find out I was accompanying Serena to Vienna and got anxious? If so, where was this energy before? Weren't you so arrogant a while ago? Me. Seeing me silent, he scoffed. You're just not smart enough. How many times have I told you I don't want this whole milk? Make me a new one. Oh, and Serena's doesn't need sugar. She's not like you. She has to watch her figure. I couldn't take it anymore. I lifted my hand and threw the coffee in his face. Serena, who had just arrived, screamed at the sight. Jasmine, are you insane? The brown liquid stained the collar of Ethan's white shirt. His expression was a mixture of shock and anger. I put down the cup and sneered. Your boyfriend is the insane one. I'm here making coffee, and he shows up out of nowhere like a mad dog. Jasmine, his eyes darkened. I told you, my patience is limited. Stop fooling around if you come back to me now, and be as gentle and obedient as before. I'll treat you a little better. Serena's expression changed abruptly, and she looked at him in disbelief. I couldn't care less. Who wants to go back to you? Only trash goes back to the trash can. Do you think everyone is as blind as Miss Marshall? Oh, right, you two are a perfect match, like a broken pot with a cracked lid. Jasmine, Ethan grabbed my arm. The force was so strong it made me cry out in pain. Suddenly, a hand intervened, blocking Ethan's next rough move. A tall figure shielded me from behind. It was Austin Sterling. Who are you? Ethan was annoyed, looking at him with hostility. Austin glanced back at me gently. Are you okay? I quickly shook my head. I'm fine. I asked who you are. Don't you have any manners? Ethan's frown deepened. I am this lady's business partner. Sir, for you to act so rudely towards a lady in public, who is the one without manners? Austin smiled warmly, but there was no warmth in his eyes. I'm her husband. Before Ethan could finish, I quickly interrupted. No, he's not. I looked at Austin desperately. Believe me, he has nothing to do with me. Look, he's with his girlfriend. How could he possibly be my husband? Austin's eyes were serious. I believe you. I breathed a sigh of relief, but a greater sense of unease washed over me. I had lied to Austin. Ethan stared at me in disbelief. Jasmine, do you have any idea what you're saying? I know exactly what I'm saying. You're the one who's confused. I took Austin's arm. Let's go, Mr. Sterling. Let's not get involved with people like this. It's embarrassing. Okay, as you wish. Austin obediently left with me. Fortunately, Ethan and Serena's flight was before ours, so they left soon after and didn't have time to bother us anymore. But as Ethan left, his eyes were locked on me. His stare sent shivers down my spine. If Austin hadn't been there, I would have jumped up and started yelling. The business trip with my crush was relaxed and enjoyable. Soon, the few days were over. Our work went smoothly, but my mind was heavy. On the last night, Austin invited me out. Want to go for a drink? I agreed. Austin chose a quiet bar. The soft music, the sweet fruit wine, everything was perfectly to my liking. After 2 drinks, I started to feel a little tipsy. Looking at Austin's face, I suddenly blurted out, I'm sorry, I lied to you. He looked at me, his eyes questioning. Me? Actually, the man we met at the airport, he's not unrelated to me. We have a marriage certificate. We're legally married, I guess. And the woman? Austin was sharp, getting straight to the point. She's his white moonlight, his first love. They've gotten back together. Got back together while he's married? Austin's lips curled into a mocking smile. Yes. Then I told him about the surgery, the amnesia, and filing for divorce. The more I talked, the lighter I felt, and by the end, I was smiling. So that's the story. Even though we haven't finalized the paperwork, I've made up my mind to leave him. That's good. You've always been a brave person, Junior. I admire that. Austin handed me another drink. A happy occasion like this calls for drinking until we drop. I was delighted. You're right, I don't remember how much I drank after that. All I know is that Austin ended up taking me back to the hotel. Right at my hotel room door, I saw Ethan. The sight of his face sobered me up halfway. In my hazy state, I thought I was having a nightmare. When Ethan saw me with Austin, he stormed over. It's so late and you're not in your room. You're still out with another man. He smelled the alcohol on me and became even more furious. And you're dead drunk with a man? Jasmine, do you have to resort to this to get my attention? You think getting with some random guy will provoke me? You've really stooped low. I couldn't understand the anger in Ethan's eyes, but I understood his words. I pulled away from Austin's support and stepped forward with a sneer. I was having a celebratory drink with my business partner, and in your eyes, that's stooping low? On what grounds are you saying these things to me? I'm your husband, don't you forget it. Oh, I smiled meaningfully. My husband, who accompanied his ex-girlfriend abroad for a competition, just the two of them for days, and you have the nerve to call me shameless. Ethan, is hypocrisy a family trait? How can you be so thick-skinned? And let me remind you, we have already signed the divorce papers. We're just waiting for the cooling-off period. I understand you can't get over Serena. But don't be like a dog, trying to have your cake and eat it too, being with your white moonlight while also disgusting me. Aren't you just pathetic? Fueled by the alcohol, I said it all in one breath. Ethan's face had turned incredibly dark. I linked my arm with Austin's and smiled. Since you're here, let me introduce you. This is Mr. Sterling, my partner on the project I'm currently in charge of. Ethan probably thought I was explaining myself to him, and his expression softened slightly. But I didn't give him a chance to speak. My next sentence was, he is also the man I've had a crush on since university. Chapter 7. A misguided confession, his regret I don't really remember how the whole drama ended. I was too drunk and too excited. As for how it all concluded, I spent a long time the next morning trying to recall, but my mind was a blank slate. But that final confession was still crystal clear. I covered my face in regret. Why couldn't I have been more patient? My original plan was to wait until the divorce was finalized. If Austin and I were still in touch, maybe then I would confess to him. Whether he accepted or not, at least I wouldn't have any regrets. I never in a million years thought he would find out about my feelings in such a messy way. It was so embarrassing. I didn't even dare to go out and face him. I stayed in my room for a while, until I couldn't delay any longer, and then I came out with my luggage. Austin was sitting in the hotel lobby's lounge area. I braced myself and walked over. Hi, have you been waiting long? Let's go, perfect timing, the car is here. We'll head to the airport first. He looked up at me, still with that calm, elegant demeanor. I breathed a sigh of relief. Right. A god-tier man like him has probably been confessed to countless times since he was a kid. Why would he care about a small, informal confession like mine? Jasmine, don't overthink it. When I got home, the company gave me 2 days off. The project was completed quickly and well. My boss was especially happy, and his eyes were full of fatherly affection when he looked at me. I was overjoyed. On my first day off, my sleep-in was ruined. My mom came. My dear mother arrived at my place before 8 in the morning. I didn't even have the courage to get angry because her face was as dark as the bottom of a pot, and she looked at me like she wanted to swallow me whole. I immediately shrank back. "Mom, what are you doing here?" she huffed. "You've really grown up, haven't you? Think you can do whatever you want now? How dare you get married to some man behind your father's and my back? Do you even see me as your mother anymore?" My mind went blank. I froze. How did my parents find out? My mom dragged me back home. Sitting in the living room was someone I never expected to see: Ethan. When he saw my mom and me, he immediately stood up. "Mom, you're back." For a moment, I thought my ears were playing tricks on me. "Are you crazy? Who are you calling Mom?" I blurted out. My mom said coldly, "If you two are really married, it's not wrong for him to call me that." Me, Ethan. "I'm sorry, it was my fault before. I shouldn't have made you hide it. I've thought it through, Jazz." He looked at me deeply. "Our relationship should have our elders' blessings. I promise you I won't hide it anymore. Let's invite some friends over for dinner tonight." I looked at him, completely bewildered. Suddenly, a wave of anger surged within me. What did this man take me for? A toy for when he was bored, an object to be used, or a piece of chicken rib? Tasteless to eat, but a waste to throw away. Otherwise, why would he be doing this? I took a deep breath. "Mom, Dad, this is between Ethan and me. I'll come back and explain to you later." After finally convincing my parents, I led Ethan downstairs, fuming. "Who gave you permission to come here? If you're not in your right mind, go see a doctor. Why drag my parents into this? Have I told my parents about our business? This is hilarious, Ethan. What are you doing now? You don't want a divorce. Are you just pathetic?" As soon as we reached the entrance of the complex, I couldn't hold it in any longer and turned to yell at him. Ethan looked at me and took a deep breath. "Yes, I don't want to get a divorce. It doesn't matter if you don't want to. I won't continue this marriage with you. I don't even remember you, and I have no feelings for you." I spoke quickly. "No, that's not right. It's not that I have no feelings for you. It's that I'm completely disgusted by you now. Are you even a decent human being? Ethan, I know I was too confident before, thinking you wouldn't care about these things. Serena and I are really just like brother and sister. I'll consider your feelings in the future. Jasmine, it wasn't easy for us to be together. Do you remember that I saved you?" He spoke gently. "We were destined to be together. If we were destined, then how did I forget you? I guess this is fate's way of telling me not to waste any more time on a scumbag like you." My words successfully made Ethan's face turn pale. "Jasmine, enough, don't say any more." I waved my hand, frustrated. "The person you want isn't me, but the old Jasmine who was completely obedient to you. Sorry, I can't be like that. So, this divorce is final. If I find you coming to my parents again, I'll call the police directly. You don't want your name on the front page of the negative news, do you?" Ethan's jaw tightened, and he said nothing more. I turned to leave. He called out to me again, "Do you really like that Austin Sterling?" Without turning back, I threw 4 words at him. None of your business. I had another tough battle to fight at home. This time, there was no escaping. I took out all the documents and explained everything to my parents. I originally thought that talking about these things again wouldn't cause any emotional turmoil. But unexpectedly, as I recalled the contents of the diary, the more I spoke, the more I sobbed uncontrollably. My heart felt heavy, as if it were being pierced by countless needles. The pain was suffocating, but there was no blood. It was only at this moment that I truly understood I had once really, really loved Ethan. For that love, I had willingly broken my proud wings, but he wasn't worthy. My mom's heart ached for me. My dad's face was also ashen. At this point, getting angry was useless. My parents scolded me harshly, and then we all cried together. Strangely enough, after this cry, the fragmented memories in my mind gradually became clearer, starting to piece themselves together. But looking at these memories now, the initial romantic feelings were gone. With my mind at ease, I returned to my apartment. It was no longer safe here. With Ethan showing up one after another, I couldn't even sleep soundly. Without hesitation, I listed the apartment for sale with an agent and rented a small apartment near my company to stay in temporarily. I returned to work and my life gradually stabilized. Ethan seemed to have disappeared from my life for a while. Of course, so had Austin. After that business trip, I hadn't seen him much. When I realized he might be avoiding me, I was a little sad, but I quickly got over it. Putting myself in his shoes, if I were confessed to by a married person, even if they were about to get a divorce, I would probably avoid them too. It was understandable. Finally, the cooling off period was over. The night before, I specifically unblocked Ethan's number and gave him a call. "Don't forget to go through the procedures tomorrow," I reminded him. Ethan's breathing grew heavy. "I'm busy tomorrow." I was annoyed. The date for the procedures was set a long time ago. "I don't care. See you at the city hall at 9 tomorrow morning. Whoever doesn't show up is a dog, and I'll expose you on my social media, Ethan. Do whatever you want." Chapter 8, The Showdown. The next day it rained. Completely different from the sunny weather I had imagined. Ethan stood me up again. I waited from 9 to 11 and then until the office closed, but he never showed up. The ridiculous thing was, he wouldn't even answer my calls. I laughed out of anger. Fine, you want to play this game with me, Ethan? You're a real man." I opened my phone, took a picture of our marriage certificate and the divorce application, and posted it to my social media feed, tagging all our mutual friends. Me, Mr. Ethan Davenport, and I have been married for several years. During our marriage, he has had an ambiguous relationship with Miss Serena Marshall, traveling alone with her multiple times. His actions have severely damaged our marital relationship. After friendly discussion, we have decided to divorce. However, on the day we agreed to finalize the procedures, Mr. Ethan Davenport once again broke his promise and refused to cooperate with the divorce proceedings. "Everyone, take a look at this scumbag's true colors. What piano prince, what talented violin prodigy. They're just a scumbag and a tramp hiding behind the guise of friendship after posting." I asked Joyce out. She had seen the post too. "Good for you. I didn't think you'd make up your mind so quickly." "I'm really surprised," Joyce said, both surprised and happy. I was like a wilted eggplant, listless. I didn't expect Ethan to not show up to sign the divorce papers either. "You're trying to force him to show up. What else can I do?" I was so angry my chest hurt. I took a big gulp of coffee. "Jerk, I was a fool before. Was I blind to fall for someone like him?" Joyce looked at me sympathetically. "Now I completely believe that you don't love Ethan anymore." I cursed Ethan for a long time, until a muffled laugh came from behind me. I jumped and turned around to see a pair of deep, lake-like eyes. Austin was smiling at me. "Junior, we meet again." What a coincidence. After a few awkward seconds, I quickly composed myself. "Yeah, it's been a while. I had some unfinished business abroad, so I went back to take care of it. I left in a hurry, so I didn't get to tell you." His words made my heart skip a beat. Was he explaining himself to me? I must be overthinking it. I waved my hand. "It's okay. The previous collaboration is already underway and going smoothly. I'll contact you if anything comes up. But you have something you can't solve right now, don't you? Your ex-husband," Austin said bluntly. Now I couldn't pretend to be clueless anymore. After a few seconds of hesitation, I nodded. "Yeah, we were supposed to finalize the procedures today, but he refused to come. His name is Ethan Davenport, right?" "Yes." "Okay, you should go home now. A girl shouldn't stay out too late by herself. I'll send you something good tonight." Austin's lips curved into a smile, and that elegant smile almost stole my soul. As soon as he left, Joyce excitedly grabbed my arm. "Oh my God, that guy is so handsome. Who is he? Is he the one you've set your sights on now? Wow, with him around, who needs Ethan? Get the divorce done quickly and jump into a new relationship." I was speechless. "You think I don't want to?" A long sigh. It was a bad start. I should just listen to him and go home. I had taken a day off for nothing. This was another thing to blame Ethan for that night. Austin sent me an email. I opened it and was shocked. It was a collection of photos of Ethan and Serena together over the years. Looking at the dates, they were all taken during my marriage to Ethan. The photos were taken in various European countries and at famous tourist spots around the world. They had checked them all off their list. Serena looked like a spoiled little girl, nestled against Ethan, smiling sweetly. I recognized one of them. It was the photo used in the news that exposed their relationship. At the time, Ethan hadn't given a direct response. Faced with the sensationalized couple hype, his only comment to the media was, "Don't disturb Serena's practice." Just that one sentence was quickly hailed by their couple fans as the sweetest declaration of love. As I continued to look, there were more. Them holding hands, hugging, and kissing. Those clear, distinct photos of them kissing on the beach under fireworks. But this time, I felt nothing, like I was watching a joke. After the photos, there was something even more explosive. Their hotel records. They didn't dare to get a room in the country, but when they went abroad, they probably thought no one could track them, so they were so reckless. I looked closely. The most recent hotel record was from when Ethan accompanied Serena to Vienna. Honestly, I felt a little sick. On one hand, he was being ambiguous with Serena, even sleeping with her under the guise of being friends or like a brother. On the other hand, he was still clinging to me, refusing to divorce. I really couldn't understand what was going on in this man's head. Austin, did you see everything? Me, yes, thank you. Austin, don't be sad, he's not worth it. Me, I'm not sad. I've had no feelings for him for a long time. Thank you for the evidence, it's very timely. Austin, need help me. No, I can handle it. Divorce was something I had to face on my own. I didn't want to drag him into it. I opened my messaging app and it was blowing up with notifications. I quickly scanned through them, ignoring the messages from unimportant people. My eyes locked on the friend requests. There were two, one from Serena, one from Ethan. How in sync of them. I accepted Ethan's request first. If he could cooperate, I could leave them some dignity. All I wanted was to get the divorce certificate quickly. As for their relationship, I really didn't care. Ethan, what's the meaning of your social media post? Me, it means what it says. Can't you read? Ethan, delete it, me. Get the divorce certificate with me, and I'll delete it. Ethan got anxious and called me directly. I said delete it, why do you have to hurt an innocent girl over our business? You're so cruel. What good will it do you to ruin Serena? I had to laugh. You said it, not me, don't you regret it? I hung up the phone. Ethan must be with Serena, so there was no need to accept Serena's friend request. As I started to organize the evidence, a trending topic exploded online. Falsely accused violin prodigy hospitalized after suicide attempt, the photo was clearly of Serena. Her face was as pale as a sheet, lying on a stretcher in an ambulance, her wrist wrapped in layers of gauze, with faint traces of blood seeping through. She had posted on her social media feed. It read, "Despair, why am I being slandered for something I never did? I never did these things. Why are you trying to ruin me?" Serena's fans exploded. Soon, the internet was flooded with curses aimed at me. They said I faked the certificate, that I was trying to destroy what I couldn't have, that I was jealous of their golden couple. All sorts of accusations. I was the villain in the story, the evil boss in a movie, to be condemned by all. It was a real shame Serena didn't go into acting. Ethan even sent me a message. Don't let this get out of hand. Apologize to Serena while you still can. I blocked him again and uploaded the evidence I had compiled. Chapter 9. Freedom, a girlfriend, and a crush who can fight me. For those of you who say I faked the photo, take a closer look. The serial number on the marriage certificate can't be forged. If you still don't believe me, you're welcome to check. I have a clear conscience, me. This is the evidence of Mr. Ethan Davenport and Miss Serena Marshall dating and getting hotel rooms during our marriage. See for yourselves. I posted all the photos at once. Instantly, the netizens who had been cursing me just moments before cooled down. There was too much evidence for them to process. After posting, I turned off my phone and waited for the situation to develop. As expected, Serena's angel persona collapsed. Ethan's good guy filter also shattered into a million pieces. And their couple fans, unable to accept that the couple they had been shipping was a cheater and a homewrecker, quickly disbanded their fan club and started to backlash like crazy. So disgusting, I can't believe I shipped this trash couple for so long. Looking back at Ethan's responses now, it's like he's slapping himself in the face. Just friends like a sister, doesn't your face hurt, Mr. Davenport? What kind of friends get a hotel room together? Maybe they were just studying music together in the room. I didn't expect there to be a follow-up to this matter. As I took the initiative to expose them, many others joined in. They were Serena's former classmates from abroad. Haha, I'm dying. I've been waiting for this day. What talented violin prodigy. Serena failed her classes for 2 years straight at our school. She had a lot of fans, so we didn't dare to say anything. Finally, her image has collapsed so satisfying she tried to steal my sister's principal position before, and even tried to seduce the judge at the time, but was brutally rejected. I heard about that. It was because of that incident that all of Serena's previous achievements were nullified, right? Yes, that's why she came back to the country to start over in competitions. Ha, doesn't that make Ethan a huge sucker, even accompanying her? I can't stop laughing. I was dumbfounded as I read these comments online. I never would have thought there would be such a follow-up. So Serena's so-called competition was just because of her past scandals, which had wiped her record clean, forcing her to start from scratch. And what she told Ethan was that she wanted to retrace her steps and find her original passion. I have to say, her way with words, it's a real shame she didn't go into sales. Seeing that the hype was about right, I posted one last update. Me. I only have one request, Ethan. Please honor our agreement and come to the city hall to finalize our divorce, thank you. This was undoubtedly the hottest gossip of the day. Thanks to them, I got to experience what it's like to be an internet celebrity. The next morning, Ethan called me. His voice was so hoarse, I could barely recognize it as his. It took me a couple of seconds to realize it was Ethan. Do you really have to get a divorce? Yes, I have to. He was silent for a few seconds. Okay, see you at the city hall in an hour. Don't forget your documents, I reminded him. Finally, I met Ethan at the city hall. He looked terrible. Unshaven, his shirt wrinkled, 2 buttons missing from his chest, and his hair was a mess. I glanced at him, pretended not to see, and urged him, let's go, let's get this over with. Soon, I had the divorce certificate in my hand. My hands were trembling slightly. Great, the freedom I had been longing for was finally back. I carefully placed the divorce certificate in my bag and walked away without looking back. Ethan called my name from behind. Jasmine, Jasmine? I didn't even slow down, practically fleeing into a car and driving away. I even reminded the driver to speed up. Just looking at him for one more second made me feel sick. My phone rang. It was Austin. Austin, congratulations on your freedom. Me, thanks, senior. Austin. Interested in getting dinner tonight to celebrate? Me. Sure, I haven't even thanked you yet. My treat. Austin didn't refuse. We agreed on a restaurant. I happily went home for an afternoon nap, then got up to do a face mask, makeup, and pick out an outfit. When I appeared before Austin, all dressed up, his eyes lit up. You look beautiful, he said with sincere admiration. I smiled shyly. Thanks. Whether he meant it or not, the important thing was that my crush had complimented me. You know, Ethan had never once told me I was beautiful. We had dinner and talked, and the atmosphere was very pleasant. I had a faint feeling that dating Austin was much more relaxed and comfortable, completely different from the oppressive and painful feeling of being with Ethan. Even though I had forgotten that relationship, some feelings still lingered in my heart, impossible to shake. People are naturally drawn to pleasure and away from pain, and I was no different. Since being with Ethan was unhappy, breaking up was the only answer. I was so young, I couldn't waste my life on such a rotten tree. As we were chatting, someone suddenly appeared next to me. He grabbed my hand tightly, full of anger. Jasmine, so this is why you were so determined to break up with me. You found someone else. Who is he? I looked up, and lo and behold, it was Ethan. I shook off his hand and slapped him. If you're going to be crazy, do it at home. Don't be an eyesore here. We broke up because you cheated. Don't you dare try to pin this on me, I said coldly. Get lost, I don't want to see you. Ethan's eyes were bloodshot, practically on fire. Jasmine, you can only love me. You said you only loved me. People change. Just like you weren't such a scumbag before. You've changed, so why can't I? I sneered. Don't tell me you thought you and Serena could do whatever you wanted, and I would just pretend not to know and continue to treat you the same? Wake up and stop dreaming. Austin came over, putting himself between me and Ethan, shielding me behind him. "Sir, you and Miss Walton have dissolved your marriage. You have no connection now. Please have some self-respect," Austin said with a gentle smile. "It's you, I could tell you had a thing for her last time. You've got some nerve, Austin Sterling, stealing my woman." Ethan gritted his teeth. He suddenly threw a punch at Austin. I watched in horror. Austin immediately caught his fist and pinned him to the ground, beating him up. I never would have thought that the seemingly gentle Austin could be so good at fighting a little while later. By the time the restaurant manager arrived, Austin had already beaten Ethan to the point where he couldn't get up. "This man tried to attack my girlfriend. I was acting in self-defense," Austin said calmly, wiping his hands with a napkin. Instantly, my mind went blank. What did he just say? Who was whose girlfriend? He turned his gaze to me, his smile gentle. "You weren't scared, were you?" I shook my head numbly. Chapter 10. Together at last after a scene like that, dinner was out of the question. What a waste of a table full of good food, I thought regretfully. Austin took my hand and led me away. Ethan struggled to his feet and chased after us. "Jasmine, don't go." But Austin was faster. He got me into the car. Before Ethan could catch up, the car sped away. I watched him in the rearview mirror, my heart as still as water, feeling nothing. Ethan was still chasing, running and shouting my name, begging me to stay, begging me to come back. But apart from finding it noisy, I had no other thoughts. Was it really necessary? We had already come this far. He couldn't stand seeing me have dinner with another man, but back then, when he was spending day and night with Serena, he blamed me for being bothered, saying it was my problem, that I wasn't generous or confident enough. How ridiculous. I looked away. Austin parked the car on a hillside. From here, you could see a beautiful night view. The twinkling lights, the neon glow, I was mesmerized. "Want to eat a little more?" He handed me a take-out box. Inside were the dishes we had ordered but hadn't eaten. I was surprised. "When did you pack this?" "I had someone prepare it in advance and deliver it to the car. I saw how much you were looking forward to this dish, so I wanted to make sure you got to eat it." My heart warmed. I never thought Austin would be so thoughtful. I lowered my eyes, clutching the take-out box, my heart pounding like a drum. If things had come to this and I still played dumb, then there was something wrong with my intelligence. After much hesitation, I summoned my courage and looked up. Mr. Sterling, do you have feelings for me too?" "No." His answer instantly disappointed me. Before my expression could change, he added, "I don't have feelings for you, I like you." Me? My head was buzzing. If I hadn't pinched myself, I would have thought I was dreaming. My arm hurt, but my heart was sweet. Does anyone understand? This joy of finding something you thought you'd lost, I composed myself. "I like you too. Although, it might not be the best time to say this since I just got my divorce certificate today, but would you consider being with me?" Austin ruffled my hair. "No need to consider, I accept." Pure bliss we embraced. I knew this was crazy, but I had already wasted so much time. I really didn't want to miss out again. This was Austin Sterling, my ideal boyfriend. Just like that, on the day of my divorce, I seamlessly transitioned into a new relationship. When I brought Austin home to meet my parents, my mom didn't know how to react. He was probably so outstanding that my mom thought I had paid him to act, just to reassure her and my dad. When I heard this, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I asked my mom seriously, "So, how much do you think it would cost to hire someone like him to act?" My mom actually took it seriously. "At least a few $1,000s per appearance." "Well, your daughter doesn't have that much cash on hand, I can't afford it." Austin overheard our conversation. He smiled. "Auntie, please don't worry, I'm serious about Jazz. We're dating with the intention of getting married." I blushed at his words. And so, Austin and my parents had a very pleasant conversation. After the experience with the rude Ethan, Austin's appearance was like rain after a long drought, nourishing my parents' dry and worried hearts. After the meal, my mom pulled me aside and warned me, "Don't bully Austin. Look how shy and gentle he is. You can't scare him, you know?" I thought about the way Austin had handled Ethan, and my lips twitched, but I said nothing. Austin and I had a sweet romance, and my career was also going smoothly. It seemed like after leaving Ethan, all my luck had returned. A few days later, the receptionist told me someone wanted to see me, but they didn't have an appointment. I said impatiently, "I'm very busy today. I don't have time to see anyone without an appointment." Before I could finish, Ethan's voice came through the phone. "Jasmine, if you don't come down to see me, I won't leave." I froze for a moment. He couldn't find me, so now he was camping out at my company. What a guy. Did he think that would scare me? I said coldly, "If he wants to wait, let him wait. If he disturbs anyone else, just call security to remove him." The receptionist agreed. I hung up and went back to work. What a joke. My time was so precious. Besides dating, it should be spent on making money. Who did Ethan think he was? Was he worth me wasting my time on? I worked all day. When I got off work, Austin was there to pick me up. I skipped over to him, met his gaze, and we held hands. "Why did you come to pick me up when you're so busy? Wouldn't it be better to go home and rest?" I said playfully. Austin pinched my cheek. "I brought you bubble tea and cake. I wanted to share them with you. And we agreed to have dinner at your parents' house tonight. You little heartbreaker, did you forget about me?" I stuck out my tongue. "My handsome hero, spare me this once. I won't do it again." We were laughing and talking as we walked to the parking garage when Ethan appeared again. His gaze fell on our tightly clasped hands, and his face instantly darkened. His eyes were so red it was scary, and his ferocious expression made me take 2 steps back. "Austin Sterling, give Jasmine back to me." His voice was too hoarse to be recognizable, but his words were still pleading. "You can beat me up, get your revenge on me however you want, I'll accept it. I just beg you to give Jasmine back to me. She's my wife." As he spoke, he looked at me with a gaze full of deep affection. I shivered and immediately hid behind Austin. "I'm not. I have nothing to do with you anymore." "Jazz, it was my fault before. I know I made a huge mistake, and you have every right to be angry. I won't mind what happened between you and Austin Sterling. As long as you're willing to come back, you'll be my only wife." He took a step forward. "We had so many beautiful memories. Have you forgotten them all?" I bit my lower lip, disgusted. What kind of person was this, still pestering me after we've broken up? He had terrible character. "Don't forget, I saved your life." Ethan brought up the past again. I couldn't take it anymore. I peeked out from behind Austin. "Yes, you saved me. Didn't I repay you by marrying you? You've gotten your money's worth over the years. Why are you bringing this up now?" Austin sneered. "You saved Jazz's life. Where? Don't tell me it was that horrific car accident on the Cross River Bridge 3 years ago? August 7th, 3:42 in the afternoon." My heart skipped a beat, and I looked at him in surprise. How did he know so clearly? Chapter 11, the person who saved me wasn't Ethan at all. Ethan instantly panicked. Who are you?" His lost expression made me even more suspicious. Austin let out a cold, light laugh. "I was the one who saved Jasmine back then. The car accident was horrific. I pulled her out of the car, saving her from the subsequent explosion, and then I laid her down by the side of the road to go find paramedics. By the time I came back, she was already in the ambulance. The person with her at that time was you, right?" Ethan's jaw tensed, as if he couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Austin, I originally wanted to leave you some dignity, and I didn't want Jazz to remember too many unhappy things from the past, so I never said anything. But I never thought, Mr. Davenport, you have some real nerve." Ethan stumbled back a few steps, his eyes wide. It was you. "Yes, I saved Jasmine. And you just picked up the credit later." His voice grew even colder. "Unfortunately, I was in a hurry to go abroad at the time. After confirming that Jasmine's life was not in danger, I left the country. If I had known you would target her, I would have stayed, no matter what, or taken her with me." The coldness emanating from Austin became more pronounced. "Now that I've told you all this, do you still want me to give Jasmine back to you? From the very beginning, she was never yours. Ethan, you are the one who is a thief, lurking in the shadows." You took advantage of Jasmine's trust and affection for you, and you trampled on her feelings and self-respect. A person like you should be tied to Serena for the rest of your life, never to be separated. Just as he finished speaking, a woman rushed over from a distance. She threw herself into Ethan's arms like a madwoman, pounding on him. You've made my life miserable, and now you want to just leave me? I'm telling you, not a chance. I recognized her. Serena? The woman heard me and turned to glare at me. It really was Serena, but she was a completely different person. The once thin and fair woman was now sallow and gaunt, looking as if she had aged a dozen years. The hatred in her eyes when she looked at me was even more intense. Jasmine, right? Let me tell you, I never initiated anything with Ethan in Europe. He was the one who wanted to go with me. He was the one who said he couldn't leave me alone. I never asked him to come, and the hotel room, he was the one who took me out drinking. I was drunk, and he took me back to the room. What happened after that was just natural. I'm a victim too, she cried as she spoke. My career is ruined, all because of you. I rolled my eyes. Don't blame me. Even if he initiated it the first time, what about all the other times you got a room? Was it Ethan's fault every single time? If so, I have to say, your intelligence is really concerning. If he forced you, why didn't you call the police afterwards? Serena was at a loss for words. Austin. Of course she couldn't call the police because she was only half resisting. She was happy about it. Oh, I smiled meaningfully. So that's how it was. Ethan looked at me deeply. Suddenly, in front of me, he grabbed Serena's hair, threw her to the ground, and slapped her several times. Caught off guard, Serena couldn't dodge, and her face quickly became red and swollen. Ethan. Jazz, this woman is the reason we got divorced. I've already taught her a lesson. I'm begging you, come back to me, okay? I was so scared I buried myself in Austin's arms. That's terrifying. He's violent. We should call the police. Austin held me tight. You're right. Let's call the police. The building's security guards arrived even faster than the police. Ethan's actions had been clearly captured on the surveillance cameras. No one could turn a blind eye to such violence. Soon, he and Serena were taken away. As he left, he kept looking back at me as if he really was deeply in love with me. Austin, look what kind of person you were blind enough to like before. I shivered. Please don't say such scary things, okay? I'll have nightmares. He burst out laughing. Later, he also told me about the car accident. I also did a lot of research and looked at the surveillance footage, confirming that what Austin said was the truth. The person who really saved me back then wasn't Ethan, but Austin. Watching the surveillance footage from 3 years ago, the moment the car accident happened, Austin jumped out of the car in front of me like a madman and ran towards me. I covered my mouth, my heart pounding. It really was him, so I had been mistaken. While I was watching these videos, Austin was by my side. Seeing that I was emotional, he ruffled my hair to comfort me. Don't be sad. At least you realized your mistake and came back to the right path. I'm very relieved. I glared at him. Why didn't you say so earlier? He also looked regretful. I thought you really loved him. If I had known, I wouldn't have let go. It was only at this moment that I understood that he had also liked me for a long, long time. I stood on my tiptoes and kissed his lips. It was so wonderful. Being with the person you like is not a waste of life. Half a year later, I saw Serena again. After several months, this woman had somehow gotten my new number and said she wanted to meet me. I refused many times, but she was persistent. That day, after work, she was waiting for me downstairs from my company. Miss Walton, I just want to talk to you. There's something I want to tell you about the past. She blocked my way. There were a lot of people coming and going. I sighed. Let's go. I chose the place, a coffee shop downstairs from my company. It was almost evening, so my choice was quite perfunctory. Serena obviously noticed this, and her face was full of an awkward smile. I casually ordered a milk tea. I don't think we have anything to talk about. Serena looked up, her eyes red-rimmed on the verge of tears. She looked pitiful. Unfortunately, she was not facing a man who would pity a beautiful woman, but Jasmine Walton, who had no mercy for her enemies. I'm sorry, I came to apologize to you. I really did a lot of wrong things in the past. I was young and foolish and I hurt you. She was very sincere. I only realized later how wrong I was. As she spoke, she stood up and bowed to me. I'm so sorry, I'm really, really sorry. Back then, I was also deceived by Ethan. If I had known he was married, I would never have gotten involved with him. She bit her lower lip, her tears about to fall. I calmly took out my phone and played a recording. When Serena's own voice came out, her face, which had been full of sincerity just moments before, turned deathly pale. The recording was of her bragging to me with smug satisfaction. Ethan even listened to you about the secret marriage, and now you're saying you didn't know? You said that yourself. What kind of nonsense are you spouting now? I smiled and looked at the camera hidden on her chest. What, trying to whitewash yourself with a live stream? Didn't expect me to have other evidence, did you? Chapter 12. I actually remembered everything. Serena froze, fumbling to turn off the camera. But it was too late. The evidence I had released was already online. The little angel tried to clear her name, only to be slapped with the hard truth again, drawing widespread ridicule from netizens. Serena finally managed to turn off the camera, her face ashen. Are you happy now that I'm miserable? Jasmine, how can you be so cruel? You're the one who came to me. What does it have to do with me? I'm just telling the truth. Next time you want to lie, please make sure you have a good relationship with the other person first. Don't do such foolish things again. I couldn't be bothered with her and stood up to leave. Before I had taken 2 steps, Ethan rushed out and slapped Serena twice. Who told you to come find her? His face was ashen. You hit me for this woman, Serena cried. Even now, you're still protecting her. What's so good about her, Ethan? Jasmine is 1,000 times better than you. When I was drunk, no matter what time it was, she would come to pick me up. She would make me hangover soup and stay up all night taking care of me. When I was on a business trip, if I had any problems, she could solve them for me without alerting anyone. That piano, she gave it to me. She went to several countries to find it. It was my most cherished birthday present. I stopped and slowly turned back. My eyes met Ethan's bloodshot ones, so he knew all along. He understood my kindness towards him, my feelings for him, and then he enjoyed it all without any guilt, while also pushing me into the abyss. Jazz, I really regret it, and I know I was wrong, I interrupted him. I'm getting married soon. Ethan was shocked. Impossible. How long have you been with that Austin Sterling? How can it be so soon? Why didn't you wait for me? I smiled coldly, showing off the diamond ring on my hand. Maybe it's because of true love. I really like Austin Sterling. I can't live without him. Ethan trembled, his breathing stopping for 2 seconds. Impossible, this is impossible. Ethan, what you just said actually disgusts me. You remind me of that foolish version of myself who, despite the other person's obvious attitude, would still blindly rush forward, all for the sake of love. I smirked. But it's okay, it's all in the past now. I don't regret my past efforts. Hearing this, a glimmer of hope lit up in his eyes. But my next sentence extinguished that flame. I said, because I don't want to make things difficult for my past self. After all, she tried her best. She was just learning how to love someone. She wasn't wrong. And you, Ethan, I don't want you anymore. Don't appear in front of me again. Seeing you really disgusts me. Ethan, Jazz, you look happy with that man now, but don't forget you have amnesia. You've forgotten that you love me. You'll regret it when you remember. I was silent for 2 seconds, then sighed lightly. It seems I have to tell you. Actually, I remember everything. What? He was aghast. I remembered not long after I was discharged from the hospital. But I didn't think it was necessary to get entangled with you anymore, so I just divorced you cleanly. Do you understand? With that, I turned and left. Behind me, Serena's merciless laughter rang out. Ha ha ha, you jerk. Did you think she would look back at you just because you hit me? Amnesia, she says. I told you a long time ago that Jasmine didn't have amnesia, but you wouldn't listen. You deserve it, you brought this on yourself. Not far away, Austin was waiting for me. When did you get here? I arrived just as you sat down. You don't trust me that much? I looked up at him, smiling gently. Of course. My fiancé is going to meet a mentally unstable person. How could I not be worried? I had to come and see. He took my hand. Let's go, we'll have dinner at your parents' house first. Okay, when are we going to pick out a wedding dress? Next week. Okay, can we get the marriage certificate in advance? No problem. Next Monday is a good day. As you wish. My marriage to Austin came so naturally, as if everyone was waiting for us to blossom and bear fruit. That night, when I went home for dinner, I told my parents about it, and they immediately agreed. It seemed they were really satisfied with Austin. The same went for Austin's parents. When he took me home, I received so many gifts that my hands were full. In the end, I had to ask him to help me carry them. I really couldn't hold anymore. And so, the wedding preparations began at a leisurely pace. 6 months later, our wedding was held on a private island. The ground was covered in flowers, romance was in the air, and the blue sky and sea became the most beautiful backdrop for our love. He lifted my veil, and we kissed in the sunlight. This time, I married in style. After the wedding came the honeymoon. Austin had saved up a month of vacation, and we traveled the world together, having so much fun we forgot to go home. After returning to the country, Joyce found me and handed me a box. What's this? Didn't you already give me a wedding present? It's not from me, it's from Ethan. Joyce sighed. He's in a pretty bad state now, but he's found a new job and moved his studio abroad. Do you feel sorry for him? No way. You were so good to him and suffered so much. He deserves to give you these things. I just don't want you to refuse. I opened the gift box. Inside was a diamond necklace. Underneath was a small diamond ring. I recognized it. It was the wedding ring Ethan had promised me. Back then, when I asked for it, he was extremely impatient and only bought it for me because he was forced to. Looking at it now, it was all so ironic and laughable. I'm afraid I can't accept this. My husband will get jealous. I handed the box to Joyce. Help me sell it. We can split the money. Joyce smiled. You really are my best friend. The last time I saw Ethan was at the hospital. Austin was with me for a prenatal checkup. We happened to run into him in the hallway. Compared to a year ago, he was a shadow of his former self, visibly withered and decayed. When he saw me, a flicker of light flashed in his eyes, but then he saw my slightly protruding belly. I pretended not to see him and walked away with Austin, turning a corner. I guess this is how fate works between people. A missed opportunity is a missed opportunity. One turn can sever the past. A few months later, I gave birth to twins, and Austin and I found our own happiness. Chapter 13. Epilogue 1. Ethan. The end. If you ask about love, I always thought the person I loved was Serena. Serena was my dream, my white moonlight. She was smart, beautiful, and had an exceptional aura, especially the chemistry we had when we played music together, something Jasmine could never give me. I did resent Serena for leaving back then. But later, maybe it was because of Jasmine's companionship, I gradually forgot all that, leaving only the good memories of Serena. Of course, Jasmine was very good to me too. Sometimes I couldn't help but wonder, did she love me that much? So much that even when I was so impatient with her, she remained gentle. A Jasmine like that was really boring. Things changed when Serena contacted me again. She called me, apologized, and explained what happened back then. I realized I still had feelings for her. It was a feeling I couldn't find with Jasmine. I couldn't refuse and was instantly captivated. Serena and I started a secret relationship. Even when she asked me to hide our marriage, I did it because I didn't want Serena to leave me again. But when Jasmine looked at me with those eyes, my heart skipped a beat and I felt a little uncomfortable. Jasmine's eyes were very beautiful and clean. She asked, "Do we have to hide it, not even from our parents and friends?" Her question made me feel guilty and irritable. We're still so young. We just got a certificate. It's not like we're having a wedding. There's no need to make a big deal out of it, right? Don't worry, I've already gotten the certificate with you. What are you afraid of? With that, I slammed the door and left, not coming home for several days. I knew Jasmine loved me too much. She couldn't hold out for long. Sure enough, she was the one who gave in first. I said, "Be good, be obedient, otherwise I'll think about replacing you." I didn't mean it, but I just wanted to say it. I didn't want to see Jasmine being proud and triumphant. She should be obedient and docile. That was how she should be. Jasmine lowered her eyes and nodded silently. I thought our marriage would continue like this. When I was with Serena, I did feel guilty towards Jasmine sometimes. But I was quickly attracted by Serena's advances. I thought, at worst, I'll just give Jasmine a grand wedding later. Wouldn't that be enough? She didn't ask for much anyway. That day, when Jasmine called me, I was with Serena. Didn't I already sign the papers? Why do I need to go back? Didn't the doctor say there's no life-threatening danger? Jasmine, stop being so melodramatic. It's disgusting, you know? Can't you be more understanding? Serena's situation is more important, understand? I yelled at her like I always did, like scolding a child. Jasmine said faintly, "I know," then she hung up. My heart instantly tightened, as if something was quietly slipping away. I couldn't catch it or hold on to it. Serena hugged me and said, "You should go back and see her. What if something happens? After all, Miss Walton is your wife." I hardened my heart. She'll be fine. When I returned to the country, I found out Jasmine had amnesia. Her surgery was a success, her life was not in danger, she was healthy, but she had completely forgotten me. At first, I thought she was faking it, throwing a tantrum, because I was with another woman when she needed me, so she was jealous. If she was jealous, it meant Jasmine still loved me. Realizing this, I didn't take her amnesia seriously. If she wanted to pretend, then I'd give her time to pretend. I wouldn't spoil her. But I didn't expect her to ask for a divorce after she was discharged. Jasmine wanted to divorce me. Why, how could? Wasn't she the one who couldn't leave me, who loved me the most? She was willing to divorce me. At that moment, I exploded with anger. When I rushed to the city hall, I found out she was serious. Meeting her gaze, my heart panicked. I had never seen a Jasmine like this before, so calm and composed, as if she really had no feelings for me. In her clear eyes, I looked like an insignificant stranger. In a fit of anger, I went through the procedures with her. During the cooling-off period, I spent more time with Serena. I wanted to provoke Jasmine, to make her unable to bear it and come back to beg me. The traces of her love for me were so clear and distinct. I didn't believe she had amnesia. She must be acting with me, but I miscalculated. Jasmine really had forgotten me. Not only that, she had forgotten everything related to me. She had someone burn that diary after she read it. Joyce was her best friend, so she was the one who did it. That day, Joyce deliberately burned the diary in front of me. She sneered, "Scumbag, now you believe that our Jazz doesn't like you anymore, right? If you're smart, you'll finalize the procedures with her soon and stop wasting her time." I knew about Jasmine's diary. I had read it too. Every little detail in it was about me. When Joyce burned it, I held back. After she turned and left, I still rushed forward, enduring the heat and pain, to snatch the diary back. But it was too late. The diary was already burned beyond recognition. The contents were all fragmented. Apart from the familiar handwriting, I couldn't even piece together a single "I love you." Was I going to lose Jasmine? And so, step by step, we came to the divorce. When I finally signed the papers, my hands were shaking. I think I was close to the truth. When I got the divorce certificate, I finally realized that my connection with Jasmine in this world had really been severed. Severed by her. She also found out that the person who saved her back then wasn't me. It was Austin Sterling. Seeing them together, so well matched, so dazzling, I couldn't bear to watch. I wanted to get my little Jazz back. I tried various methods, but none of them worked. She still ended up with Austin Sterling, they had a wedding, and they went on a honeymoon. I locked myself in my room and drank for 17 days straight. Later, I desperately exposed myself and Serena. All sorts of negative news spread like wildfire. Serena was completely ruined, and so was I. It seemed that only then would I feel a little better. It seemed that only then would my little Jazz come back. I asked Joyce to help me send a gift to Jasmine. I thought this was my last chance to win her back. It was our ring. But half a month later, at a charity auction, I saw the exact same design. At that moment, I cried and laughed like a fool in the hall. In the end, I still bought that ring back. This life, I guess this is it. Jasmine has her Austin Sterling by her side, and I only have this ring in my hand. It's fine. This is my karma.